Well, I'm going to be singing the praises of the Great Western Railway today. Well, the Great Western Railway didn't have to worry about racing to the north because it operated mainly in the west, as the name might imply. So, they concentrated on making their locomotives very, very good. Well, at the beginning of the 20th century, it was George Jackson Churchward who brought in ideas from abroad, all over the world, France and United States in particular. This locomotive we're looking at here is an example of the Star class. This is number 4018, Knight of the Grand Cross. And why I'm running this one today, I will explain as we move on to this locomotive, Cadbury Castle. After Churchward came Collett as the chief mechanical engineer at the Great Western Railway. Charles Collett designed this, some would say, the best all-purpose express locomotive ever made. Collett doesn't really get the recognition for what he achieved because everybody says, well, he just improved on Churchward's designs, which to some extent is true. But what improvements? What improvements? The castle, I think it was Pendennis Castle, was involved in an exchange with the LNER in the early 20s, and they ran a castle on the East Coast Line, and they ran an A1 460, the like of Flying Scotsman, on the Great Western Railway. And the castle beat the A1 hands down in terms of power, performance, economy, everything. The castle was brilliant. The LMS wanted to buy some castles because they didn't have a powerful express locomotive. They wanted to buy them from the Great Western Railway, and the Great Western Railway says, go and make your own locomotives. So they did. Well, that's another story, which I'll come on to in a moment. But just going back to the fact that Churchward designed the Star, which is here, a locomotive which I'm very proud to own, by the way. This is a wonderful little model. There were several of the Stars that were rebuilt into castles. So you could say the Star became the castle in the course of time. Well, the castles are what today's video is really all about. And they're so good, I've got two of them. So we will also be running today Earl of Saint-Germain, number 5050. Another model which I'm very proud to own. Well, the LMS and the castles, I said I'd come back to that. They couldn't get hold of a castle. They wanted a powerful express locomotive. So they did the next best thing. They hired Collett's assistant, who was William Stanier. And William Stanier brought the ideas which he'd been working with at the Great Western Railway to the LMS. And his most famous locomotive, of course, the Black 5. So we'll be running a Black 5 as well today, which is kind of related to the castle. In fact, let's put the Hand of God in here, just for a moment. Let's put these two locomotives side by side. Oh, the gantry's a bit in the way. Sorry about that. Look at them. They're pretty much the same length. The firebox is slightly larger on the castle, but the boilers look the same, the cabs look the same. Very much similar. Well, we could just look at them all day, well I could. But also I want to get them running. So come on.